went and saw this movie, Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze Arc. And the interesting about this, the movie's really good. Here's the thing: the credits and everything are in Japanese with, subtitles. But the get into the movie, and all of a sudden I'm hearing American actors, voice actors coming out of the characters. Because when I went to see it, it said that it was subtitled. Unfortunately, everything about it made me think it was in Japanese. The whole movie was going to be, but it wasn't. It was actually dubbed in English. I enjoyed the movie, but it's weird here in America. And they do change some of what the dialogue is when they do these, when they dub them, because they don't, unless the Japanese themselves are doing the translations, they will change words. But overall enjoyed the movie, and it's basically the movie's this that it takes place after the first season. I love the first season of Chainsaw Man. It stars this Genji, who's a 16-year-old boy who basically grew up with nothing. His father basically, we find out, supposedly hanged himself because he owed money to the mob. So his son basically ends up having to do dirty work and kill devils for the mob. And he has a little, it looks like a dog with a chainsaw of its head, and he used it to cut down trees and kill devils. And it's Pochita, I think is its name. And it looks like, and when he pulls its tail, that's when the blade, the chain, saw goes to work, and he cuts down trees. He'll kill devils. Then he gets, in the first season, he gets killed, and basically Pochita gives his heart, takes the place of Denji's heart that was where he died, and he becomes his basically his friend Pochita becomes his heart. He gives up his heart for him so that he can live. And so when he pulls the cord, he gets a chainsaw comes out of his head, and his head gets covered, and his head becomes the Chainsaw Man, and then his arms split here, and the slide with the chain on it comes out of both hands, so his hands are split, and his body will heal from any damage. So the first season, you meet the characters and everything. And in the English, here's one thing is, this is in Japan, when you hear this in Japanese with, the Japanese characters say Makima. That's how they pronounce it, but in English, they'll say Makima. Maknia. Yeah, it's Makima. They go M-A-Ma, K-I for ki, ma, M-A. So, it's like when you see the word tomato, Americans say tomato, but if you take M-A, like I was told in school, if you can't pronounce it properly, break it down by each part, so you go to-ma-to. So put that together, tomato. It's like but Americans say it with a long E instead of the singular E, so yeah, so that's why Americans tend to get words wrong, and they do change things when they dub them. So, but the dubbing didn't take me out of the movie except for when it came to Power. The lady doing her voice sucked. She was just God. In the Japanese one, it's much better, but overall the voice acting wasn't terrible, and so yeah, essentially we this story takes place right at the end of the first season. It's leading to, eventually, they haven't said yet, but most likely they will be doing a second season. And so this one is the second arc in the Chainsaw Man, and it basically takes place shortly after the end of the first season. And things have changed. Power, has, she's a fiend, not a devil, but she's a fiend that, if she consumes too much blood, she gets overpowered and her horns grow. And so they basically have to take her aside and drain her because she's got too much blood. That's at the beginning of this movie. And so he's teamed up with another character who's known as, we saw him in the first season. He basically moves like a shark. He's a shark devil, I think, in the movie. And he becomes his new partner, and Denji really doesn't like him at first, but as the movie goes on, he becomes really helpful because of what's going on, and his Aki ends up getting the Angel Devil. I like the Angel Devil. We see him in the first season towards the end when they go into this, when they're basically towards the end of it, and we get more of him in here, and he's actually really cool. Didn't know that in the Japanese it was a woman doing his voice. That's her right there. It's a guy here, and wow, the voice works. It sounds like a girl doing the voice. He really does have that, and man, is it good. This is movie. It has a style. It's hand drawn, and that's why I love the hand drawn. And even if they use a tablet, a screen to do it, they're still drawing it by hand. One thing about animation you got to understand is that the artists who do this animation are not paid very well by the studios when they do these. And in some cases, they don't get enough time to do the movie, to do the animation right, so it'll be kind of but here you could tell they took the time to do this movie right, and it's a fun movie to watch. It is violent as fuck. A lot of people die in it. Characters that were in the first season, one character actually dies giving her blood to save Chainsaw Man, who is, and we meet Reze. Well, Reze is a fascinating girl, and we don't know right away, unless you've read the manga, you know who she is. And it has another name. The Devil Bomb arc is another way of what they call this arc in the manga. But she's essentially, she's known as the Devil Bomb. And if you've read it, in the movie, they don't tell you exactly why she's after Chainsaw Man's heart. But it turns out that she's working for the number one villain in the whole series, known as the Gun Devil. We've heard about him, we've never seen him. And he basically has people, others paying, somehow, they're caught up in what he wants the Gun Devil's heart. I mean, he wants the Chainsaw Man because he fears him. I believe it is what, And so, and basically he sends his goons to get the heart. And so, we saw that first with the machete guy and everything. And what's fascinating about Reze is you find out her backstory, and it's kind of tragic because she was born in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets experimented on her and other children, and that's how she became the Bomb Devil. And when we meet her, she's a friendly, very precocious lady who works at a coffee shop, and very friendly. I knew right away who she was. I knew, she's the Bomb Devil, because I've read things. You can read this stuff online. You can read most of these mangas online for free, and if you don't want to buy them. And this one is like, she comes off very nice, and she likes Denji. And as the movie goes on towards the end, he asks her this question: if you wanted to kill me, why didn't you kill me when we first met? Yeah, good question. And I think it's because she actually has feelings for him, and she's just following the orders of the Gun Devil to get his heart. But I think in the end, she realized she wants to be with him. But at the same time, she's killed a lot of people, and a lot of people die in this movie. I mean, God, she blows up a lot of people. And then another devil comes in called Typhoon, and a big, basically a giant devil. And oh my God, Shark Guy, who's a devil, he teams up with Denji and with Chainsaw Man, and we find out that he can actually do he has a new ability where he can throw his chains out to attack or grab someone, which is really cool in the movie. I mean, this movie was well animated, and I'll say the voice acting English, I wasn't expecting it, but it wasn't terrible except for the lady, the actress that did Power. Her voice sucks. She sounds better in the Japanese. All this sounds better in Japanese. I thought I was getting that. Unfortunately, I didn't, and it didn't completely. It was just weird that the credits are all in Japanese. Everything else about it, they even have the title in Japanese with the name underneath in English in subtitles. But the movie itself is all in English, and it's the voice acting. It kind of threw me off. As far as I was like, I'm not used to that because I'm used to watching in Japanese with subtitles, and and so this was just a fun movie. It is not for kids because how violent it is at times very gory, and there's a lot of death in it and destruction. I mean, this poster right here is just from the first season, but that's what you see in this movie is literally destruction. And yeah, see the blades coming, the slides with the chain. It comes out of his arm and out of his head, and that is what the Chainsaw Man devil looks like. And there's a point at the beginning where we see Denji, the little boy, and he's walking down this alley. We've seen in the first season, and then he hears his friend, Pachita, and he tells him, "Don't come through this door." Yeah, see, they're both done by a woman, but I don't know if I've ever heard her or anything else, but I prefer yeah, and it's just really strange hearing American voice actors come out of Japanese characters. But the movie's actually really good. It's got a great style. The score's really good too. The music was it was more of like a techno beat to it, I think. Returned from the anime series to compose the film's music. Kensei performed the film's theme song, and yeah, that was definitely him. It's out. Yeah, Iris out. Yeah, the end credit was Jane Doe by. Yeah, and this person. Yeah, but he did the opening to the entire first season of Chainsaw Man, and the song's really good. They did put the subtitles on it, and I just got this the way they did the score for the movie was it had a sort of techno at times. It felt like during the battles, very techno, and it's just a really well-made movie. This is the Japanese poster right here. It's hard to see it because of how small it is, but yeah. But that wasn't the poster. It looked more like it's kind of like this almost for the move for the I think it was this, but you can't barely see it here. But yeah, that's the bomb devil, and that's Chainsaw Man. And basically, she kicks the living shit out of him throughout the movie when she just finally reveals herself as the devil bomb, and man, does she murder a lot of people. And at the end, when what goes on at the end of the movie, she it's like, yeah, she even at one point asks him to run away with her, and he almost thinks about doing it, but then he's like, no, I have everything good. He likes living in the city. She likes the country, because that's brought up. What type of rodents do you like? Mice do you like? Do you like city mice or country mice? It's like, do you like the idea of living in the country in Japan or in the city? Denji likes to live in the city because of all the food and everything. And Makima says she likes the country, just like Reze says. She prefers the country because it's slower, it's quieter, it's not like the big cities. And she, like I said, you find out about her. Begin the movie, Makima, I'm going to say that because that's her, Shark Fiend Beam. That's his partner in the movie. Yeah. And he basically is, I was like, this is the, where is it? Fiend Beam, right here. This is the guy, the American who does the English for Beam. He's the shark devil in the movie. And yeah. This thing is such a good movie, and you look at Demon Slayer. There are two different styles of animation, and you can tell, but they're both really well done. This is like peak animation, and the story's really good. It's only an hour and 40 minutes long compared to 2.5 hours, and I think that's because they knew that they didn't want to keep the movie going too long, and yeah. And so yeah, I was surprised that it was in English instead of Japanese. But like I said, thank God the American voice actor for Power was not there. It's a god awful voice for the character Power. She sounds better in Japanese, but overall, it didn't take me out of the movie. I prefer the Japanese, and when it comes on eventually Crunchyroll, which will be next year, I'm gonna watch it again. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this movie real quick. This is Gilgamesh. I highly recommend this movie. If you've watched the anime, it's on Crunchyroll. Go watch it. It's also on Hulu. Go watch it and then go see this movie. It's really a fun movie. So that's me. I will talk to you later. Bye.